what they gave us, you know. They come in ambulances. You can imagine what they gave us.
So with the successful animal experiments that Rife conducted, then Dr. Johnson convinced him that they should do a trial on humans. And Rife was hesitant at first, but then consented on the condition that a team of medical specialists would be involved. So with Dr. Johnson's supervision and under the auspices of the University of Southern California, they formed a special research committee, and in 1934 they took 16 terminally ill patients and within a period of 3 months successfully treated all of them.
So, as I say, the results we've had has been very encouraging. We had a clinic in 34 in La Jolla. Dr. Milbeck Johnson, a friend of mine, that was in Los Angeles. Well, he was one of the big brass of the Pacific Mutual Life Insurance Company, a multimillionaire. Incidentally, he was a medical politician, and he had the big whip. He could kind of show these boys in shape a little bit. So we had this clinic. I didn't want to go it, but he said, all right, let's go ahead. That was just shortly after Miss Ellen Scripps died out there, and he rented a whole Ellen Scripps home. We ran a clinic out there. We was there 90 days. We actually ran a clinic about, I would say 70 days. We did actual clinical work. And first I told him I wanted it done in a legitimate order. I said, I want you to surround on this committee with us a group of 6 of the biggest men you can pick in the United States. I said, you're a politician enough, you can do that. Which he did. He got Fisher of New York, he got Waylon Morrison, he got George Docks of Pasadena, and so on. And I says, I want as our pathologist, I want Alvin Ford, which is a friend of both of us, of course. Well, he says, good Lord, he says, you've looked at 1,000 tissues to Alvin's one. It don't make any difference. I says, he is the president of the American Association of Pathologists, and I says, I want his name on every one of these cases we treat. Now I says, I want you to organize a special medical research committee under a bona fide university, which we did under the University of Southern California. Dr. Johnson's wife, he carried a weight there too. All right, we did it. We ran the clinic. We got through. We did all the reports, photographs before and after, this, that, and the other. At the end of the time when we had our meeting, Los Angeles Athletic Club up there, why, this board pronounced 14 of our cases clinically cured.
14 of the 16 patients were successfully treated in the first 70 days, and the remaining 2 were pronounced cured by Dr. James Couch after 3 more weeks' treatment with Rife's beam ray. Dr. Couch describes his impressions.
When I was told about this Dr. Royal Rife and how he had a machine out at the Scripps Institute, I went out to see about it and became very much interested in seeing the cases which he had. And the thing that brought me into it more quickly than anything was a man who had a cancer of the stomach. This was a man who staggered into a table just on the vast end of cancer. He was a bag of bones. And as he lay on the bed, Dr. Rife, Dr. Milbeck Johnson said, just feel that man's stomach, doctor. So I put my hand on his stomach, which was one solid, hard mass, about just what I could cover with my hand. And it was absolutely solid. And I thought, well, nothing can be done for that. However, they gave him a treatment of the Rife frequencies, and in the course of time, to my astonishment, he completely recovered.
How many times and what was the extent of each treatment, Dr. Well, we used 3 minutes on each treatment. And we found that the patients we treated twice a week, we got better results than when we treated every day, simply because when we broke down, devitalized this virus or organism in the tissues of the body, it gives the lymphatic system a chance to absorb it and take it up and cast it off. We treated half of them every day and half of them twice a week. And the ones we treated twice a week, we got better results.
The following years saw a tireless push by Dr. Johnson as he sought to have Rife's work in cancer independently verified in other laboratories. They approached the Hooper Foundation and the International Cancer Research Foundation, two prestigious institutions which had the money and the clout to proceed seriously with the work. And there was an advanced laboratory in New Jersey operated by Dr. John Burnett, a man who had more than a professional association with Rife.
Well, Dr. Burnett's connection to Rife was through his wife, who was one of the Timken sisters. And so Burnett was also a well-known researcher, and his laboratory was probably, almost equal to Rife's. And he was doing research to verify Rife's work and other fields of electromedicine.
Where independent verification of the work was concerned, it was only Dr. Burnett who continued with Rife in good faith. The other research organizations, after a flurry of initial enthusiasm, wasted years of time by embroiling Rife and Johnson in an endless barrage of bureaucratic red tape. It seemed that the Hooper Foundation and the International Cancer Research Foundation were more concerned with satisfying the whims of impatient board members than following the rigors of clearly established experimental science.
Like all the experience that I had back east there with that International Cancer Research Foundation, Christ almighty, they collect money in there by the millions, John. And what have they ever spent? What have they ever spent for anything? For polio, they buy a couple of iron lungs. And for the cancer outfit, they spent, by God, less than $50,000 out of their $127 million that they've got in. Where's the rest of it? What are they doing with it? Christ almighty, John, $50,000 won't equip a spatter-ass laboratory.
Well, I guess they're using it to subsidize their own operations.
Well, Jesus Christ.
All businesses were as smart as they might have similar success.
Yeah. No, but Jesus Christ, that kind of stuff, John. People pay in their good money. They're paying their good money towards a contribution that they think's going to be some benefit to humanity, and where does it ever go? It goes no place.
As a consequence, we've lost millions of people from disease that could have been healed by Rife's machine.
Yeah, we're losing 250,000 people every year on cancer right now. This is published figures,
Of course, the American Medical Association standard requires that there be at least 5 years of successful operation before it be recognized as a possible treatment for this sort of thing. So time was passing and everybody was getting impatient.
The successful cancer clinic in La Jolla demanded 2 necessary courses of action. 1, to get independent verification of the microbiology involved, a cooperation that was proving quite difficult for Dr. Johnson to engineer. The other necessary course of action was obvious: more experimental therapy on sick people with the beam ray.
So with that initial success, Dr. Johnson also ran clinics of his own where he treated a variety of diseases, including even cataracts and tuberculosis and various illnesses. And there was also a few other doctors. There was one doctor named James Couch who ran the machines in his clinics and had astounding success. There was one doctor, Dr. Hamer, who was treating about 40 patients a day. As a matter of fact, he was so busy using the machine that he had to hire a couple of technicians to run the machines.
Dr. Rife evaluated it, 34, and proved it conclusively that it was absolutely perfected then. The process lingered, and then Milbank Johnson took it up to Pasadena and ran some more clinical tests in 36, 37, which were very successful.